How did the decision to make a RiffTrax game happen?
When we were making What the Dub, we were watching RiffTrax on their Twitch channel nonstop, like 24 hours a day. It was just always on when we were making the game. And then after we released it, I think Mark sent a general tweet to like RiffTrax and all the guys like, hey, thanks for all the inspiration. And then Peter reached out and said, hey, maybe we could make this an actual thing. And, after we only had to pay him like $20,000 and that he basically secured the deal. So it was
after he sued us, we decided to make another game.
Guys, I didn't disclose that on my taxes.
That was
have to edit that out.
It's a paraphrase. Peter basically did a Robert De Niro in Goodfellas. Where's my money?
It's all in Bitcoin. It's untraceable, really.
Oh, nice. Good. I love the dark web.
So pretty organic, natural connection there. So once you decided to make the game, like what's the process of actually putting it together? Because this, hundreds of riffs, tons of different movie scenes. What was the process like of boiling everything down and actually developing the content?
Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say on the technical side, it was fairly straightforward. It's I'll let Peter answer this, but it was the huge task of gathering all the content and then writing and recording new custom riffs for each one of those clips. So that was all the RiffTrax team doing their thing.
Nice. So the RiffTrax team, did you basically have carte blanche to pick like the movie scenes that you wanted to have in the game? Like you just kind of went with what felt fun to you, or did you have to stick to certain things for legal purposes or anything like that?
Yeah, the only exception to that are anything where we have like MP3 commentaries, that just the joke things, and we don't have rights to the movies. We would love to use like a Marvel movie here and there, but we can't just be careless about that. But also, I think it sort of helps for consistency purposes that these are all like really obscure trash for the most part. Although we do have like a Cary Grant movie in there. We have Charade.
Yeah. And The Boy in the
just
Plastic
like
Bubble.
slumming it with all these shitty shorts.
The Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
Oh yeah. Well, that masterpiece.
Oh yeah, no. They remade it, Bill. They only remake good movies.
We did like one thing we did, which might have been a little insane, is we actually did all new riffs for these moments that we had already done over the years, and that was just like, that was a matter of clearing the calendar. I think it's like one thing we did very smartly this time is just say we're going to devote these couple of weeks to the game, and then so we all just went nuts writing and recording.
Yeah, we wrote like 10 or 12 jokes for every single moment. I think
we ended up with so much stuff. I mean, actually, one of the challenging things was managing all this once we wrote it down, because we had. How many writers on this? At least 5? It was everybody,
it was
right?
us, and then Mike, Bridget, Zach, and Jason. So we had 8, I guess. Kind of nuts.
Yeah. So it was a fun exercise.
The weirdest part was when you're like, I got the perfect thing, and you look down the spreadsheet, and someone had like claimed like the joke you would
right.
It's like, you son of a bitch. Like,
the low hanging fruit has been seized.
Exactly. It was a race to claim it all. Yeah, exactly.
The normal joke has been taken.
It's uncanny how often we come up with the same thing within minutes of each other.
Fuck it, I'm writing a better normal joke.
That's right.
Yeah.
The weirdest one was I went down to one, and I was like, the perfect setup for a Pete Weber, who do you think you are, I am joke. And I was like, did it? And I see Mike typing it into the script at the exact moment. It was like,
Yeah, big spreadsheet we worked from.
Yeah, very different.
Strangely, combine the best of writing comedy and doing your taxes.
But I think it was probably in some ways more fun than writing one of our regular dismal bad movies, because each one of these clips was chosen to be a setup for a punchline, because there's this setup and then there's a space to allow people to write their riffs. And then we did it, and it's like people just lobbing them up, and you're on the other side of the tennis court just ready to pound it home because it's just right there for you. So it was a very fun
That's
exercise.
too sexy, Kevin. Pound it home. Too sexual.
When you guys do RiffTrax, you do multiple takes, but you have to choose one joke that makes it in, right? Even this one, you can write multiple ones, and people can choose. It's a little bit more interesting,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah,
from
you
your
got our
perspective.
9th, 10th, and 11th best choices on this one too. So.
But also you don't have to worry about context, which is nice, because in a movie
Yeah.
there's a context to worry about. Here it's just like, oh, here's a funny setup. It's not the 2 minutes of silent driving that sometimes you have to fill in a movie.
Right.
It's like here's the good stuff.
Yeah, the lack of context makes it better sometimes too, frankly.
Yeah.
It ends up being the ranked choice of comedy games.
Ranked choice riffing.
Yeah.
Bill and Kevin, you guys, there's a lot of your voice work in this. I'm just curious, was there any legal ramifications? Because like Crow and the other characters, they're you. Like it's just you doing your voice. Like you're allowed to do that in other mediums, or do you have to change it up a little bit? Or
No.
No.
You're
No,
allowed,
there's
allowed to use your voices.
Yeah, there's no mention of any characters beyond just Bill, Mike, and I. So,
yeah.
Yeah, we've been operating on that premise since 2006 that
Yeah.
we can use our own voices and say words.
So at any point was this not going to be like a riff game? Did you guys think about doing a fighting game or an RPG or anything like that?
That's next.
Hey, if this does well, the sky's the limits.
Intriguing.
Yeah, Streets of Rage. The guys just walking around beating up terrible movie characters and
That's
visiting different movie worlds. Like
Dating simulator, baby. That's where we got to go.
the thing
Yeah.
the thing that always delights me about those is how quite often how stupid the stories are, behind the drama behind these games, and it would be very fun to find a way to riff those, to dive into them within the game.
Yeah, the president's wife has been kidnapped by ninjas. There you go. Like,
It
Daughter,
writes
sorry.
itself. Put on the box. It writes itself.
Right.
We did cutscenes for video games for a while
That
there.
was
Oh,
a
yeah,
while back
yeah.
for Sony PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
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 we did several video game movies too. Mario and
Yeah.
Double Dragon and
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Really excellent adaptations of
Mortal
those
Kombat.
games.
All classics in their own
Top
right.
of the line.
Yeah.
true to the source material.
Yes.
Jim, we talked about this before with What the Dub. You had their process of finding out what was copywritten, what you could use. When you joined with the RiffTrax team, did they have like a better process, a more streamlined process for discovering what could be used, what was fair use, what wasn't, what was licensed, what was expensive, what wasn't?
Well, it was just more a pre-existing process because a lot of the stuff that we used in the game they're already using, so that was already like kind of pre-vetted. I don't think we were introducing any new films that weren't already pre-existing in their library, so that made it even easier.
It's cool that you trust us.
Yeah.
Surprise when the game comes out.
Buried in
Long
law.
pause to
Cops
put
at
an
my
independent
house?
studio out of business.
Why did this take not to make it sound, why did this take so long? Because it feels like the RiffTrax MST3K, like this should have been done like years ago. Is it just because timing? You guys are busy with some other projects? I mean,
Yeah, I'd say our production cycle is so intense that we quite often don't have any breathing room. We put out a lot of product in an average year. And add to that the live shows we're doing, and then all of the extra material we do for our Kickstarters in order to, make it valuable for people. To carve out the room we needed to do this, it took some, thank you to Peter, some serious effort to get the infrastructure going and make the time in the schedule to do it. And so now that this is going to be part of our, what's the word, product mix, it's great. We've done it,
Ew, I hope not.
I know it'll become it's really fun to do. It looks like it's going to be, I think people are going to love it. And so it just becomes something that we put, right into our regular schedule.
I think we flirted with a sort of a version of this early on, all on our site, the iRiffs.
Yeah.
Where you kind of use our riffs to mess around and make comedy, but this gives it much more of a framework of a real game. So very glad to have the help from Wide Right.
I like this because you don't, especially with the two different ways to do it, you don't have to necessarily be, a slam bang joke writer in order to get something funny and maybe even.
Hell,
win
we're
the
not.
There we go.
Yeah.
Great.
just go to Yale.
Right. Go to Yale. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today and showing us the game. We really appreciate.
Thanks,
you taking the
guys.
time.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for
Thanks for
playing.
the opportunity.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah, where can folks go to find out more about the game and check everything out?
You can go to rifftrax.com/game, and that'll have all the pertinent info there, as well as links where to wish list it on all the appropriate storefronts. Wish list it today on Steam, please. That'd be great. Or just follow RiffTrax on all social media. It's just at RiffTrax across everything. And we're looking forward to bringing this into the world on May 5th.